Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? Welcome to the Heart Talk Podcast, episode 3.
Where we turn hard talks into hard talks, y'all. That's why I'm here, right? Head, neck. I'm supposed to be helping.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me today. My intros is off today.
It's all right, baby.
It's like the fourth time we've done this. But okay, yeah. So hey, welcome in, you guys. How you guys doing today? Come on in, have a seat.
I am your co-host, Tia Daniels.
See,
And this is my husband, Brandon Daniels. It's all right. We good.
yeah. So hey, everybody, how you doing today? Again, welcome back to episode 3. We hope that you guys enjoyed your day, but most of all, hope that you guys enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Now that we got all the mushy and the history out the way, now we can really get into some of the nuggets, some good nuggets that we like to bring to you guys.
If that's what you want to do, you call it nuggets.
Yeah, nuggets.
We don't even eat meat, but you call it nuggets. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Sorry, guys. It seems a little spacey today. We're trying to figure this thing out today.
And we had some issues with the second episode, just even trying to upload it. It was ridiculous.
Lord.
We had to talk to the host, talk to WordPress. It was a hot freaking mess. I don't know how it worked out. I still don't know
worked
to this
out,
day,
though.
but it worked out. So now it's up because on our audio, like streaming platforms, it just wouldn't upload, and it was ridiculous. I was just like, okay. So we took a much longer break than we would have even planned.
Yeah, we apologize for that, y'all. And then plus, the holiday break, which kind of took us, made it longer. For us to come back and do an episode. But we're back.
Yeah, because we were out of town. So that was
welcome back.
Okay, so how was your day,
babe? Well, today was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday includes Bengals losing every Sunday and fantasy.
And he's a faithful Bengals fan, y'all.
Faithful Bengals fan. However, it's okay. We're losing, but we're chasing for that number 1 spot. Like Ludacris said, we coming for that number 1 spot in the draft.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, my day was good. It was cool. The question that we all want to know is, how was your day?
That we all want to know?
Yeah.
That we all want to know. Well, yeah, he wants to know. Apparently, I was acting spacey today.
She acting weird today, like quiet. It's a difference. Like, I know her, right? Where when she's chilling and relaxing, she'll just be chilling, relaxing. And I know the difference between that and then something is on her mind that is either just continuously on her mind that she's thinking about, or she's upset about something. And then the aura is just really weird.
But his question is always wrong. It's always, what's wrong with you? That's clearly the only question that ever comes out of his mouth.
Ask
nothing is
one
wrong
time
with
today.
me.
It was once I said, what's on your mind? You said nothing.
I always have a lot on my mind, though. So that's like, I don't know. Just start a conversation to get it off my mind, to get me to talk about something rather than having me talk about what's on my mind. Cause I'm always thinking about stuff.
How was your day today then?
My day was fine to me. I mean, we didn't do anything. We are horrible. We finally found a church to go to, y'all, and we just are not.
Well, we got to keep them up on the stuff. So basically, we went to Cincinnati and
for Thanksgiving, for the holiday.
If I was a cusser, that was a cluster.
Cluster F.
Because there was just so much going on. We had to go. We had to.
We basically every 3 hours we were going
somewhere. Oh my God, we were on the move every single time, and so
I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm
not planning Cincinnati 2020 unless it's for weddings that have already been necessarily planned, and I'm only going to those weddings, and I ain't telling nobody.
Ooh.
Nobody. I don't care. I
Yeah,
don't care.
and I know a bunch of y'all can attest. When you go to another, when you live in another state and you go back to see family, the family wants you to come see them. They don't want to come see. You know what I'm saying?
Oh well, I can't do this or I can't do that. Well then, why are you trying to see me? Stick on your schedule and I'll see you a different year.
Yeah, it was just too much. And so by the time we got home, we literally went after we got back on Monday. Tuesday we were back at work.
Yeah, we didn't get a break at all.
We came back Monday evening. We was back at work Tuesday, and so Saturday. Saturday we rested, and then we rested so much that it
slid
into Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday.
So we didn't go to church. We didn't go to sleep till like real late, and so we was like, oh, yeah, we probably gonna miss it in the morning. But we're getting better. Pray for us. God not through with us yet.
No. And we got I just been slacking on streaming from our other one. But that's still, I'm like, no, if you ask me to church, that's my church. I'm still trying. I don't know nobody at this other church. I know people at the church that I watch so anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, but we was just chilling today. Today was a chill day.
Yeah, it was good though. It's needed because Brandon usually works on Saturdays. And he was actually home this weekend, and
I cleaned.
I appreciate that.
He
cleaned the kitchen,
thoroughly though.
Yeah, thoroughly. But he takes for all day to clean one space because he'll be breaking on his phone. It's the worst. I'm like, how you take 6 hours to clean the kitchen?
Listen, I have to be in a comfortable space.
You see that?
And me being in a comfortable space requires me that I have multiple things to rest my mind,
All right, babe.
Okay.
Dun da da da. Question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Ooh.
And it can change your life or not. So like any type of advice that you would give, or
okay. I'm gonna give 3 things.
Okay.
Because last time I was told that I went too far.
He just went so long. But my husband's he's so long with it, and he one of those like he can't make anything simple. It's so hard for him, and I'm like, dude, if you explaining something to me and it's longer than like a paragraph, I'm not. Out. Yes. It's so bad. I'll be staring right at you, not knowing what you say. I still do it though because I can't help it.
I hate that she does that. But okay, 3 things. Number one, I would tell 15-year-old self to not listen to the prophecy. And if you want to know what the prophecy was, go back to episode 2, and you would know. That's number 1. Number 2. I would tell my parents about this up-and-coming business called Apple. That they should go and invest. I would tell them, like, I know it sounds crazy, but if y'all just take $500 and invest in this in 96, I would have told them that. And we probably would have been stupid rich by now. That's what I would tell them. That was number 2. And then number 3, I would tell 15-year-old, and I would tell my 6-year-old self. And then I would tell 20-year-old Brandon to focus. Yeah. Around that time, I was in college and I was not focused, which I believe that if I was more focused back then, when it came to my studies and things like that, I would probably be farther along. So, yeah, I would tell those people, those 3 kids.
Okay. I know that I would go back to my 13-year-old self and say that it's okay for you to have counseling. I think my mom took me to counseling at one point because I was when I started hitting a real deep depression when I was 13. But I didn't want to talk because I'm like, they ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna tell my parents everything because you're not legally they have to, I think, or something like that. Or that's where my mind went. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you. You tell my mama everything I'm telling you. That's just not. I'm definitely not that stupid. Um, that I would tell my 17-year-old self to take a deep breath and just to just be happy. I think that was when I finally had like my first boyfriend, and it was like just a hot freaking mess. And it's like, no, you just need to be happy. Don't be worrying about these dudes. Like they ain't nothing. They really aren't. Like
Facts.
Especially at that age, it's not. I mean, not to come at relationships that have, those teenage loves and whatever, blah, blah. But I'm like, no, not from what, and that's what was in my mind, that imaginary thing. But that type of life that I did want. It's not imaginary, but just I wanted that whole high school sweetheart. We're gonna be together forever. And no, I don't even talk to nobody at my high school. That came from my high school. Like one person I talked to, and I don't even talk to her a lot. That's just life, But one person, I'm not kidding. And then I would tell my 18-year-old self to...
And rather next year?
Yeah, because that's when I went to college. And I would tell my 18-year-old self to just continually to put my all into all of my work. Because if I would have did that, then I probably would have overexcelled. And I believe that I would have overexcelled in college. And then I could have gotten my master's and... just the plan that I initially wanted for my life. So, yeah, I'll probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, we would love for you guys to pick an age and let us know what you would tell a younger version of yourself. Doesn't matter the age, but just let us know.
Yeah. So just let us, any age. Pick 3 ages. If you could tell 3 age.
They don't have to pick 3 ages.
I know. I just want to make it. I want to give them, some boundaries. Since they're giving me boundaries, I'm giving you boundaries.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, pick whatever age you want. It could be more than one, but just, what advice would you give yourself?
All right. And so that was our icebreaker.
No, breaking the ice.
Breaking the ice. Okay. So, if you listen to episode 1 and 2, we gave you the breakdown of our life, literally, in probably 2 hours combined. 2 hours combined. It helps me talk. Don't judge me. If you're listening, I had something in my hand and Tia tried to take it out of my hand.
Because I'm like, what are you doing?
Because this is okay. So you've heard of people like when they're fidgety. Like you said earlier, we all have a fidgeter in us. All right, so if you heard our episode 1 and episode 2, we basically gave y'all 2 hours of us, okay? Yeah. In that 2 hours, you realize that we did have a son. And our son, great son, Solomon. And in the midst of us...
He's as great as a 2-year-old can be, just FYI. I'm not even about to... I ain't one of those. Oh, my child is nah.
She is listen. This 2-year-old for her.
So real quick.
Okay, so it brings us to our next point. So, in the midst of all that, and us after we got ourselves together, we had a child, and so a lot of people that don't know, Tia and I wanted 2 different things when it came to kids.
For our lives, first of all, in general.
Brandon wanted kids.
He wanted 4.
4 of them things.
Look.
I wanted, and it's crazy. I had names for 4 of them. I don't remember the other three, but I know Solomon stood the test of time because I always wanted Solomon. But okay, so the reason why I wanted kids because of, like we've mentioned before, the dream. You want 4 kids, a house, continue your legacy and all those great things. And then I was always passionate about kids anyway. And then even though I didn't have my biological father there, God placed my dad. I call him my dad, the dad that raised me, my dad. And then he placed other mentors in my life to fill that void. So I never had the issues of daddy issues or daddy wasn't there, because God placed people in my life to fill that void. And so in the midst of that, it helped me grow into loving kids. And so I love kids. I mean, it was just, they were joys.
He used to work at a daycare.
Yes.
A male.
I was the only male.
Of course he was. What type of dude?
The only male. The other male that worked there was the janitor. That's how bad it was.
Men do not, and I mean like a daycare, like babies. Like babies. Men usually when they're like mid, preteen, teens, they could do that, but not daycare.
When I got there, I would literally hop from class to class. I would start in the infants, then go up to the 2-year-olds, and then go to the 3-year-olds, and at the end of the day, I was the head over the school agers. So I love kids. So that's what I wanted. I wanted kids. And so even before we, became married, that was one of the things, we had a long conversation about, I want 4 kids because my mama got 4 of them things. And I want you should do it natural.
He just had I'm like, I'm glad you got this whole mindset. Yeah, I didn't want any of them things. I still don't want kids.
She's to this day.
I still do not want kids. And yet, clearly y'all saw on the
and
first
she blames
episode.
Me
yes.
for him.
Yes.
Like the engagement that happened between her and I.
You have literally pulled me off of you on multiple occasions. So the fact that you try to sit here and tell me that it was my fault, no, you could have pulled me off you.
But I didn't want to. Because I was married.
I didn't want to. No.
You got to leave it in. You got to shoot up the club. I had to shoot the club.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. But I shot up the club before and it didn't happen.
That was like right before I was supposed to come on, though. This one was like right after I came. Like, it's like your egg ovulate, like, so 5 days after you have your cycle, 5 days to a week, then your eggs like start or being able to be fertilized. And so that's when we had sex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I didn't want kids because the world is so overpopulated, and I'm just like, I don't want to bring kids into this world and it's already crazy, like, or still crazy, if you will. Like, being black in the United States of America is not a staple. Like, it's very hard. Yeah. I love being black, but it's still like just those struggles. And I personally have not encountered a lot of things that a lot of other people have, and I don't know why, because it's like I'm just as black as everybody else. I got these eyes, but these eyes don't mean nothing. This is like 4 or 5 generations back, y'all. Like, I don't know where it came from. Yeah. And so it was that.
And she brought it to me about like, well, we should, when she first brought it to me about adopting, I think I was against it. I wasn't against it.
He was just like, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have these babies.
I'm trying to have these babies. Like, I need to know they mine. Like, I need to, but then as we start, as I, started being with her and, understanding adoption and, and there is a abundance of kids who need homes out there, I kind of started to understand. So it came to the point where I was like, yeah, I'm going to have 2 kids. And then it turned from that to, yeah, we're going to have 2 kids, but probably going to adopt. Like, yeah. So I started saying that. So that was huge.
And we will. I actually want to foster too, but that, I don't know.
Now that one, yeah, that was weird for me. I mean,
but that's still like we're
and I'm not coming to anybody who fosters out there. Everybody is meant to do something.
Yeah.
And I know some great foster parents out there. Personally for me, I don't know if I'm ready. But who's to say I won't be?
Yeah. So, but yeah, and it's just like I said. So being black in America, it was just like, okay, I really don't want to put that on any of my. I feel guilty. I feel guilty of bringing him into this world, and it's like this world ain't crap. Like even so, for example, I was watching Kev on Stage. And him and his wife, they're getting kicked out of their. They have a whole episode of they're getting kicked out of their studio for being black, and of course the guy's not gonna blatantly say that, the owner. But the thing about it is, like, it's literally because they're black. There's no other reason. They didn't do anything. They fixed up the studio, but the guy's like, yeah, well. And the thing
I don't have to tell you that why we're kicking you out.
Like that's literally what he said, and it's hard. And I think for me, it's like, dang it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum of socioeconomic or whatever. Like you're wealthy, and he definitely got way more money than us. Like that's just dub. And it's like, but he's still encountering everything that all of us who we think we don't matter. We all matter, and it's like because we're all in this fight together. Like we're all black, and it's like it's hard to be black here. Like we are majority of prison systems and all of that, and I'm like, I had a son, so it's just kind of like I can't believe that this happened, and I didn't know his gender. But that was like just I wanted it to be a surprise or whatever, and I still love him, and I want to give him all of that. But it's like I really don't know if I want him to wear those rose-colored glasses to the point where he's like, oh, I can function in this world the same as everybody else, when it's like, no, baby, this world wasn't made, not in this country that we live in. It wasn't made for us to even be able to function and be, actual living beings, like to be, that. And it's not that you can't take advantage of everything around you. So like Atlanta is like Black Mecca, right? You could take advantage of it, right? Yeah. So, but like we live in Texas,
yeah.
Like,
and I think we would do him an injustice if we allow him to go around believing that everything is all peaches and roses, peaches and cream, all here, because then he'll encounter something that will blow his mind.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I agree with her, even though I wanted kids. It wasn't.
He understands.
I understood. It wasn't a lot of stuff that was going on that was crazy at the time that I started wanting kids.
Yeah.
So when now, after we have the child and all these things happening, we're like, yo, we're gonna have that conversation. And I'm like,
well, but it was even for me. So in Cincinnati, I think it was like in 2000 or 2001, Timothy Thomas got shot by a cop, and that was when they had the riots.
Right.
My husband.
First of all, don't be telling my business right there.
Anyway.
We got people watching.
But when they were having the riots and all that, Cincinnati, and my mom was very like pro black. Like she raised me in like black schools. I went to a mixed high school, but it was such a culture shock for me because I'm like, there's white people here. Like I had never been around white people, and it was good high school for me. But I think I was in so much shock that I couldn't even take advantage of the opportunity of being there. And I was also and then I got pulled away from my friends. So it was like I was just there by myself. So I like kind of, that's when I became more secluded, if you will. I was just like, okay, like it's just me.
And that's a perfect segue from the segue queen.
Right. Anyway.
Perfect segue into education. And so one of the few things that being that Tia identified some of the struggles, one of the struggles, of course, him being black and already having 2 strikes against him. He's a male and he's black. But some of the things we knew that we was going to have to struggle with while raising him, we knew that one of the things was going to be education.
Yeah.
Before, you don't know how much, like when you're moving stuff, when you don't have kids, you can just move. But then when you finally have a kid, you're not only just moving for yourself, you're looking at, school districts, making sure everything is perfect and everything like that for your family. But one of the things I know that he's going to have to deal with we are going to have to deal with while raising him is, do we send him to a city school or do we send him to a suburban school?
And I don't want my kid being raised by white people. I don't want him to think that white is right. And that's like a subconscious thing that kids think, right? So like my niece, I remember when she was 3 or 4, and she literally looked at me and said, she you know those little games where you can like color the like little Barbie looking figures or whatever. It's like a little thing where you just insert the colors. And so I made one that was like brown, like her, with a little dark hair, whatever. And I was like, you like her? Isn't she pretty? She's like, almost. And turned her white with blonde hair and blue eyes. Now she's really pretty. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, like I couldn't, she's 4. I'm like, I don't know what to tell her.
And a bunch of that is connected to, and don't get me wrong, like let's start here before we go into this. We have no issues with white people, with Hispanic people, or any type of people. We are
any different race.
Any different race. We are an inclusive couple. We have one of my closest friends is white.
Hey, we coming to that win.
And I'm not trying to play the numbers game where you're like, I got this many white. No, I ain't trying to do that.
No, my white friend.
Right. But we have no issues with that. But we are identifying that there is some inconsistencies between raising a black child and raising a white child, and so we're just trying to maneuver through that as parents. Mm-hmm. And so I think part of that from the girl is, of course, what they see on TV.
Yeah.
It's really, when you see this commercial about toys or anything like that, it's really always a white toy. Yeah. With blonde hair or blue eyes, or
even the little black dolls. They don't look pretty.
Yeah.
They just be
it's bad, and then on TV, of course, all they see is white, and so that's one of the, even my little sister, growing up, before she realized, so she is like into herself now, but before she's into herself, she went to school and she hated her skin. Like, she was just like, I hate my skin, and she told the teacher that and everything, because she felt like she was wasn't pretty.
Yeah, and so, but with Solomon, it's like, okay, I don't want him just being around white kids, because it's like, if you send your black kids to a white school, they'll start like, I don't want him to interpret that culture as being like that he's one and the same. You're not, and that's unfortunate, but you're not, because you are black. Like, you have too many stacks against you to even think that this is okay. And then it's also like, I want him to be able to identify. So
we're advocates of diversity.
Yeah, like I want him to go to a mixed school, just like how we was trying to find a mixed church. Our church, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It's in heaven.
But it's like, I want him to be able to be around kids of different cultures, of different backgrounds, and it's like, okay, you pick your friends, but I just don't want you to only go to a white school, and I don't want you to only go to a black school, because it's like, those will be the only friends that you have, and you won't know how to mix.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like, I believe that's internal, because I know I didn't. I literally went to all black schools. I was around all black people. Yeah. I went to my mixed high school. Yeah,
and I think that's and I believe that is important. Like, I don't believe that, like she said, I don't want him to just be raised by, go to a school where it's predominantly black.
But I also want him to learn a lot about black culture.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's also hard to find.
Yeah, it's just trying to find that middle, because we want him to go to a school that is like is mixed. So you see, so we want to go. Yeah. So the racial dynamics is huge. Yeah. The suburbs versus the city, though. One of the things that we're gonna have to deal with is, okay, so do we send them to a city school, or do we send them to a suburban school? We know that the city school is not going to have the technology or even the advanced things that the suburban school would have.
Yeah, because they don't have the funds, because the funds come from the state, right. And the state isn't really trying to fund public education.
Exactly.
So
it's a lot of that stuff. Like,
but it's like, if he goes to a city school, it'll be way more diverse than a suburban school.
Right, but then he'll miss.
In my opinion.
But it's like he'll miss out on things that.
Either way, he's gonna miss out. So it's basically, we gotta figure out. We gotta do the pros and cons.
And that is the thing that bothers the mess out of me. And you have people who are in power, senates and representatives, and they're just doing it. And I think everybody's doing it. They're basing their beliefs off of their kids. So they're not looking at the other kid. They're not looking at Susie. They're not looking at Javante. They're looking at their own kids and then trying to make rules and regulations based off of that. Because I wish, and that just bothers me. So that is something that I know that I'm gonna have a huge issue with. I know, especially when we move, and then we actually found a house and things like that. Trying to find, because I don't want to repeat myself, but basically, and then the quality of education, we know that it's gonna be, totally different.
Yeah, you want attentive teachers who actually care and aren't just like teaching just because, whatever.
Right.
And there are a lot of teachers that care, but it's just, and it's like those are at all schools. You just got to figure out which ones are which. And it's like, but also let the teachers know, if there's an issue with my child, please let me know, because your teacher's basically helping you raise your child.
Yeah, because they're at school like
all day. So it's like you really have to have that type of relationship and just let them know that you're open, or even just reaching out, because like teachers, they work a lot. I used to work with teachers and a lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm not, I could never be a teacher, but I love the people that do, because they actually really do care. But then it's, when parent teacher conferences or whatever, when they meet with the parents, it's hard, because it's like the parents don't want to see what's going on with their child.
Right.
So
it makes perfect sense. And then the next thing that I know that we're gonna have issues, or not issue, or I hate to say struggles, is the stereotypes of boys.
Yeah.
Basically what qualifies a boy to do ... So one of the things about Solomon that we realized, that Solomon loves to cook. So yeah, he loves to cook. And being that he does love to cook, Tia brought to my attention and was like, you know what, Brandon, we should get him a kitchen.
Yeah. When I first said this, I think Brandon was like, no.
I was like, what?
The initial, he was like, no. And I'm like, babe, it's okay. And it wasn't actually, at this time, he didn't even like to cook. He was just kind of like, he was just in the house a lot. So I was like, oh, let's get him a kitchen, whatever. Now he's like in the kitchen with both of us, like doing them eggs, I'm doing the spaghetti. He's sitting, we cooking there. It's hot, but still stirring and all of that. And it's like, okay, well.
And so when she brought it to my attention,
like
I said, at first I said no, but then now, he's in there. I'm like, yo, let's go ahead and give him one. It's really good, because I feel like the stereotype in all of that is, of course,
because men don't cook.
And then growing up, and you see it in all the toys and all the commercials, girls are given the kitchen and the babies and all of these at an early age to prepare them for I guess their adult life.
Yeah, but that trips me out, because it's like, so men can't be attentive and nurturing either. And so and I think that would actually help little boys to be able to connect with that. Even like I don't know, and it don't have to be like a baby, but just like, something like a teddy, it'll be similar to like a teddy. That's something that they can even walk around with.
That's perfect. So let's start here.
Oh.
So me and Tia had a long argument.
Oh my God.
About, not an argument, but a discussion and debate about dolls.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to get him a doll.
And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing dolls. And then we, and this is great, because in the midst of that, we, in my mind, my interpretation of what a doll was, a baby, or, a girl doll, so that was my interpretation. Tia's interpretation of a doll didn't have to be that. It could have been an action figure as a doll.
Yeah.
Other things. A teddy bear is a doll. We just call it a teddy
something
bear.
To just see his image. Like, it's the same with little girls, right? Like, they just have like little things they just walk around with.
Yeah.
So like, even if he wanted like a little boy that looks just like him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's fine.
And I'm still kind of like, I don't know. even in the midst of that, though.
Mm-hmm. It's not a positive or a negative. Like, some people say to give them dolls, and I'm just kind of like, I would if he wanted one. Like, if he told me, Mommy, I want a doll. Okay, go take him to the store. What kind of doll? You pick it out, and we'll get it for you. Like, it doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. because I don't think that takes away his masculinity in any way. He's still a boy.
Yeah.
He's still a boy. You like babies because you also have 3 younger siblings.
Yeah.
I don't like babies.
No.
I still don't like babies. I got a 2-year-old in there that we potty training. But I'm like, he's here, so it's like I got to do something rather than and we don't know what's gonna happen with him because right now number 2 ain't looking too close ever.
And so after conversations, I guess I understood what she was talking about. And so even with the kitchen and the doll, I started being kind of open about it. I was like, okay, I kind of understand where you're coming from. That's fine. But you want
to know the irony? But he told me we should put our son in, did you say gymnastics?
Gymnastics.
And I said, no.
So you see how it's all how we were raised and what we saw on TV, media and our parents, all of that stems from all of our, pre-thoughts on things, so it's out. I feel, and I told her, I said, she was like, gymnastics.
I was like, what is wrong with you, dude?
And I was like, look, it's gymnastics. It ain't nothing wrong with gymnastics. He'll be Diesel.
But this is because is it gymnastics where, so like I've also, our cousin tried to put her daughter in gymnastics, and it was something where after a certain age, it's either they got to be going hard with it or they just, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and also with that, it's like, I don't want him to get into a sport where he can't even progress any type of way. And we don't know if he will or not at this point. We know he's going to be in soccer.
Oh, yeah, definitely going to be in soccer.
And we're not soccer watching people, but we will go to soccer games for ourselves.
And so this is another stereotype because when you look at a black boy or a black son, the first thing that comes to mind is football and basketball.
Yeah.
Those are the things that literally come to mind immediately. And so that's one of the stereotypes that we're going to have to deal with because we're different parents. Yeah. Like he said, he's going to be in soccer, gymnastics. We're going to try to put him in polo if we can. We're going to put him in lacrosse. Like I want him to be, diverse in all of that.
Explore all of the sports.
Like I don't want him to just be that one. And there's nothing wrong with people playing basketball. I love basketball. I grew up playing basketball.
Yeah,
football.
That's his sport.
It's my sport. But I'm like, I want to make sure that he's exposed to anything that he wants to do. And we're going to support him in that. I think one thing about black parents sometimes, we don't support enough. You know?
Because it's like, you only do what I want you to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that's so limiting, and that limits your child and their growth. Yeah. And I don't think that we even process it to even understand it, because it's like, but that's how it's supposed to be. Why? Because
I'm going to tell you why. A lot of the parents maybe had dreams or aspirations to be great in a sport. And so when they didn't, when they had kids, they put that that same drive, or try to put all of those dreams and desires into their child.
And it even goes for parents who didn't want to be in sports. They may start, but if their kids say, "Oh no, I don't want to do it," okay,
you don't got to do it.
And it's like, but that's bad. Your child needs to be active.
I mean, even something else too that I think that as black parents we fail in. Like for instance, today our son loves to play the drums. We have an electric drum in there. I know some parents, a kid starts playing on a drum,
they get mad.
Why are you playing that? It's too loud. I think we parents, black parents mainly, we could become our kids' worst enemy, in a sense of we would kill their dreams before their dreams even have feet to run.
Yeah.
So even if they have the inkling or the start doing something, we would cut the legs off because we don't feel like it fits into what we really want them to do, or it doesn't fit into what
or even our schedules.
Yeah, or our schedule, right.
Just like we don't want to take the time to be able to do that for them.
And that's where we fail.
Like I remember one time, I remember one time when I was younger. So I was in a cheerleading class at one point when I was younger, and we had like our where we, not like a competition, but where we were supposed to like show everybody our cheers and stuff. I think it was either me and one other black girl, but it like everybody, all the other girls were white, and I'm almost positive I was the only one. I can't remember at this point, but it was in downtown Cincinnati, and my mom, your parents are supposed to show up for them for your performance. My mom didn't show up. My uncle showed up, and I was like, "Why are you here? Where's my mom?" I remember having that mindset. Now, not that I thought I wasn't cool with my uncle. I love my uncle, but it was like, where is she? Yeah. Like I felt real like,
and then sometimes
dang, she couldn't even show up.
And then sometimes I understand. Stuff happens, things come up, life happens, and you're trying to pay bills. You become an adult, but I believe as adults you get so now I am an adult and I'm seeing things. We'll get so caught up in what the bad stuff and what's going on now that it seems like we put blinders on our kids. Like we take care of them, and everything like that, but just their aspiration and their dreams, we just kind of put blinders on them because it doesn't fit into what we're trying to do, and so we as black parents need to be better, period. One of another things that we are gonna have to deal with
with the struggles, another struggle and difficulty. Just the fact that he's a black male.
Yeah, period.
Just that simple fact right there. Like he can't change it. Yeah. He just is. That's who he is, and he is strong in himself, and we make sure to let him know that.
Yeah, every day.
Every day I give him all the love. Like he's just
his
dad
gives him all the love.
And his dad's a good example. So I just got to give y'all this side note. My husband, when I'm usually done eating, it goes for either one of us, whoever cooks that day, or whoever cooks the meal. When one of us is done eating, but when I'm done eating and he's cooked, he comes and gets my plate, takes it to the sink. My son is now doing that for me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the cutest thing. I'm like, my baby is just a little man. I don't know what to do. I don't want no more though. Not right now. Look.
Right.
So anyway, but yeah, just his actual existence is it's really very extremely difficult, and especially because we're just getting murdered and dying just up randomly, and it's like where, how, and I don't want to deal with this. Like I'm constantly telling Brandon we can move like out the country. Like I wanted to move before Solomon came.
And then sometimes I'll be telling her like I'll one day be like, okay, Till, let's go ahead and go to Australia.
No. He actually said, and I was like, don't tell me because I will legit. I'm gonna start searching. Like, all right, so we got to do this, we got to do that, but we about to go. Like I would up and leave, and it's just, and it's not even. I mean, the country. It's I guess one of the best countries or whatever, but it's just difficult. Like here, being black is like basically like you got the red dot right here on your forehead.
Like playing Russian roulette with your life as a black
and
man.
It's hard. Like Solomon, it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was Friday, where he was going to daycare. I put on his little outfit. It was a UC Bearcats little jumpsuit, and it didn't. And, I had a jacket and pants. He's trying to put on the jacket hood. Jacket doesn't have a hood, but he's accustomed to jackets with hoods. And he's like, "Mommy, help!" And I'm just like, "Baby, it doesn't have a hood. Like, I don't know what you're doing." And so he got over it, but it was just like him doing that. All it reminded me was Trayvon Martin. That's all it reminded me of. And I'm just sitting there looking at him like, no, God, no. I can't have this. Like I don't, and it does nothing but makes me anxious. Yeah. Because it's like and of course she didn't want that to happen to her. So I'm like, I quite honestly pray for that family all the time. I pray for all of these families because there's multiple murders that we just don't know about. Yeah. You can't look it up. You can't find it anywhere. Like it's basically like swept under the rug. But it's hard as a black parent.
Yeah. I know one of the things that I know that as a black male, what I have to deal with him is have the talk with him. So Tia brought to my attention the show that's on Netflix, When They See Us. Mm-hmm. And I still haven't watched the show. People been telling me you need to watch it. You especially you being a father and you having a son. I know that I don't need to watch it, but I do understand
why people
will want you to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think where I'm having an issue is it's hard because I know that this talk is going to be the most weirdest, craziest, needed talk that I'm going to have with my son. And I don't know if I'm emotionally ready. I know that every day.
Remember his emotions, y'all.
I know that even with my little brother, I have a little brother, and every day, not every day, but randomly, I'll think like, yo, I wonder if he is out. Because there's a lot of stuff going on back where we're from in Cincinnati, a lot of shootings and things like that. And
it's crazy.
And my first mind always like, man, I hope Reggie's okay. And I'll just call him randomly. He probably think I'm just checking up on him, but I'm checking up on him, but I'm making sure that he's alive, And so that alone, because sometimes I'm weird, I'll have dreams that he died or something like that, and then I'll feel the emotions of it, But then like having that conversation with my son is gonna be mind blowing, and I think that's where I am at. That's where I'm at with with everything that's going on. I'm seeing all these videos, males getting shot in front of their families, and and then nothing's being done about it. My sister made a point, and my little sister posted something, and I'm just paraphrasing. She said, "It's crazy because I feel like justice is people become more aware in your death trying to advocate for black rights than when you are alive."
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, and so when you die, that's when people are
when they care.
But when you're alive, it's like
care.
they don't care, and and that right there just it baffles me, And so that's one of the things I have to have this conversation with my son. I'm gonna have to sit down and tell him, Solomon, when you grow up, when you get pulled over by a cop, I need you to keep 2 hands forward, always say yes, sir, and don't say anything else outside of that. Tell them, don't make no sudden moves. Give them what you need to give them. Don't do anything. Don't talk back, because if you do, your life going to end right there. How, as a father, do you expect me to have this conversation with my son like this? And so that's where I struggle. That's my struggle. And I know people say, well, you have to do it. And I'm like, yo, but I'm different. I'm different. Like she said, I'm emotional, but at the same time, I do want him to be safe. I want him to and it's crazy that I have to tell him not to act or not be too boisterous about him being a black man, because if he does it, like it won't work in his favor.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things we got to deal with, telling our son, oh, you probably got to act like this or, talk like that, and we're not trying to raise that type of child, which leads us into, we're going to try to raise, it's important that we raise them as a Christian child.
Yeah.
Sorry for the rant, but
he needed that though. So Jesus followers, that's just
Period.
What we do. That's our life.
God is dope.
Yeah, literally. And I understand that other people, don't believe or they may struggle with that, and I understand that. That's fine. That's just not our lives. And so we need for him to have that foundation.
Yeah.
I believe that as long as you have that foundation to where as long as you know Jesus and know who he is, God, you'll be okay. But in all of the moral foundations with that also, to just don't lie, cheat, steal, be a good person, and all of that's in Christianity and in the Bible and things like that. So,
and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, when you grow up, yeah.
I appreciate it, and a lot of people might not agree with me when I make this statement, but Priscilla Shire said something. She said, "I am a Christian woman before I am a black woman."
Yeah, the pastor. It's a book called Woke Church where he's a black pastor who made the book, but he said that he would Christian white male is more of his brother than a black male who's not a Christian. And that's also as believers, you have to understand that we know that this is not the end.
This is temporary.
This is temporary. We are literally living for the afterlife. Yeah. Like, okay, when heaven comes, and it's like, in heaven, people have to understand, when people come against, what we believe and stuff like that, or not come against, but just disagree with it, it's like, okay, in the afterlife, it ain't going to be me and you coming against God when he's saying what we're doing. It's going to be me, and he's only going to be looking at me and asking me what I was doing. Yeah. Or he's going to do that to all of us. Yeah. And so it's like...
So it's important.
Yeah, to have him, like, raised like that.
Yeah, because it's going to be beneficial for him. Yeah. And I know people might not agree with that, but, like, agree with... the whole, I love my black man, my black woman. I love my brother, my black brother.
Oh, I'm so pro-black, y'all. It don't make sense.
But at the end of the day, this skin, this flesh is all temporary. And so I'm living my entire life to hear two words, and that's well done. Period.
Yeah.
And so in the midst of this, I'm a advocate for, my race, but also I'm going to try to bring together my white brother, my Hispanic brother. I want us to come together, and so we're going to raise Solomon to look, to be that way. One of the things that we're not going to do is to try to make him colorblind, because that's not realistic.
He won't be.
He won't be.
He won't.
Because, a lot of people raise their children. He's not black. It's not about race. And it is. It's it's the reality.
Literally the world. And yes, that it's more predominant. It's predominant here, but I'm like, in the world. I went to South Africa, y'all. Let me tell you, I couldn't be called, I'm not black. I'm colored down there. And don't even get me started.
So being colorblind is out of the option or how we're going to raise him, but we're going to raise him to be inclusive. We're going to raise him to be passionate and care about himself as a black boy, but also be loving. I think that one thing we miss is Jesus came for us to be loving to everybody outside of your belief, outside of you don't believe in God at all. We are here. You still on this earth, we should be loving to one another.
Yeah.
We should be.
That's what Malcolm X and Martin did. Yeah. You see what? Look.
That's who did.
Malcolm and Martin. Before right before both of them got murdered. That's what was going on, and that's exactly why they both got murdered. But anyway, that's my belief. But anyway, go ahead. I had to bring them up. I just watched Selma, y'all, so that's what happened. So anyway.
But yeah, that's definitely one of the things. So we're going to continue to, pump into him, great things to just, make him a better person. Even from a financial standpoint, we're gonna, one of the things I know we're gonna struggle with is just him, financially, going into the business world.
It already started with daycare.
But not. So. That is important to us, raising a black boy is, as you heard, we're going to be, dealt some hands and this is all that we think that's going to come, in raising him. But I know we're going to be thrown some curveballs, some sliders, some change ups,
right.
all into there.
His personality, y'all. His personality.
And one of the things that we want to make sure, even from a financial standpoint, him learning about credit. Us, black, we didn't learn about that growing up.
Yeah,
we didn't learn about in school about how to, balance a checkbook or budget or anything like that. And I believe, it's just my personal belief, I believe that that's why a lot of us black people, black males, black women, black people period, are behind in some of that, because the parents don't teach their kids about those things because they're not.
Parents can't. Yeah, but they can't teach.
They
They don't know.
They're not doing it, and that is also a generational curse.
Yeah. We're breaking them over.
We're
here,
trying to
y'all.
break all of these things because the reason and if you look, you wonder why. Like I like the other day, and this is just in my mind while I'm at work. I deliver packages for Amazon, and I'm going to these houses, and it's beautiful, immaculate houses, and subdivisions, and all. I'm like, yo, these are some nice houses, and majority of people living in these houses
are white,
mm-hmm. or foreigners, so like Indian, African, not from here. And I'm sitting there like, why aren't we there? Yeah. Why it seems like it's more people who are in these positions that are not, really like that's black, yeah. And it made me think like, man, we are not teaching right. I think it starts with the teaching. Yeah, some of it is the system. Don't get me wrong, I agree. But I also think it's us teaching our kids about budgeting, teaching our kids about debt, teaching our kids about saving and things like that. And
to say like you can't teach, like we just said, you can't teach what you don't know. And if you don't know and you just stay in your habit, then why would you teach your kids? And so we've seen that, and so that's why with us we're like, okay, no, we're in too much debt. We like it's too much to the point where it's like, stop, this will not happen to him. Yeah. But like, so if somebody would have taught me about debt when I was younger, it would have been to the point where like, if you get good grades in school, you get a full ride, you ain't gotta have no debt. If somebody would have taught me that,
yeah,
bro, like
somebody would have told me that, like, this was literally, they was feeding us some bull crap. Just, when I was a senior in high school, they was telling us, oh, this is good debt. College is good debt. You go to college, you can pay that off.
Everybody say it.
Yeah. And they were telling everybody this. And
is no such thing as good
oh
debt.
My gosh. When
credit,
I tell you
got credit, that's debt.
It's the biggest scam to me. And if you don't have a full ride or grant scholarship, I wouldn't advise going. If you gonna go to school, go to a cheaper school, or a community college or something like that, because they're waxing us to the point that yes, now you get your degree, you can't pay for anything.
Literally, and then the only jobs you can get are like $15 an hour,
right? Or maybe, and it's really it's sad, and so that's one of the things we're gonna have to. I'm talking about we're on it already. Making sure that he has a bank account. We're gonna be teaching him about.
Does he have? He has like
multiple.
Man, look,
but we're gonna prepare him so he don't have to deal with the stuff that we dealing with now. We're trying to get our credit together, trying to get a house, and that's a situation in itself. And so we want to make sure that we give him all the tools that he needs, so he could be successful as a black man in America. So we're just positive. That's what we're gonna be doing.
Giving him affirmations
and praising him and giving him positive things. Because even though all those things we name, we're gonna have struggles and we're gonna be dealing with a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, if we put God first in our whole situation, we won't have to worry about none of that, because God's going to lead us in the way that we're supposed to go. And us affirming him and pumping in confidence in him, it's going to work out for his favor anyways.
Every time he does something, I'm always, good job, or thank you, or he always says that, say good job, and then he does.
He'll do it by himself. He'll be like, good job. He clap by himself. So that was a glimpse into some of the things that we think about sometimes in raising this boy, wonderful Solomon Josiah's. We just want to make sure that we're giving him everything that we feel like he needs, and hopefully this helps someone out there. I know we were kind of all over the place, but we're passionate about us being parents and us having kids, and we want to make sure that we're giving them all the tools needed to be great in their lives.
Yeah.
So again, thank you guys for coming in and listening to our rants and how we feel about raising a black boy in America, or yes, raising a black boy in America, and hopefully you guys got some things out of it.
United States of America.
Yeah, and we want to again say that we are an inclusive parents. Like we are all about coming together as black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, everybody, but we do understand the threats that's against our fellow black men and our black women out there. So we just wanted to kind of be transparent with you guys. So our next segment is called Lately.
We ain't gonna talk about this.
Our next segment is called and so lately, I've been listening to a song that has been on my mind all the time. And lately, I've been listening to it all the time. And it's called If the World Was Ending by J.P. Sachs featuring Julia Michaels. And in the link below, on it, you'll see it if on YouTube. Also on Facebook, I'll even put it on our page.
We'll put it in the description.
In the description, so you guys can see it. But it's a great song. It's lyricism at its best. I love it.
Lyricism.
I want to say lyricism at its best.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
You said lyricism.
I said lyricism?
Yes. Lyricism.
Oh, I can't wait to rewind this. This is a great rewindable moment because I don't think I said lyricism.
Okay.
Okay. See, she can't wait. But yeah, so that's something I've been listening to. So what's lately for you?
So if there's a song you want me to think of, it's only been what is him? Real Mike Jr., Big Mike Jr., Big. He's actually the one who brought the song to me. Right. You know the song I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm driving to work or whatever, right after I drop off my son, it just really influences me, because life for me, I can mentally drive myself insane because I have so many thoughts going on, and it's like I need to learn how to relax. And so that, if you come from music wise, but
his name is Pastor
Mike Jr.
Pastor Mike Jr. and his song is called Big.
Why did I get Big Mike? Oh, because I'm thinking of the song.
And the song is called Big. Check it out. It's a really dope song.
It's a really good song. But this just came out. I saw it immediately before it. I think it must be big now. It probably has a whole lot of views. But there is a Hair Love short film, and I love short films. And it's about a black dad doing his black daughter's hair, watching a YouTube video to do her hair. And it's the best thing ever because her mother is in the hospital. She has lost her hair, so obviously she was doing chemo, or something to that extent. And so she wasn't home to do it. Daddy had to do it, and it was just so beautiful. I'm like, look at this black daddy. I don't know about this man doing a little black girl hair.
Listen, I would be a beast. I did my little sister's hair back in the day, and I think I did a pretty good job.
I don't know about all that.
I am a ponytail expert.
I don't know about all that.
You haven't even seen me.
You're right.
So how
Those
you
are
know?
facts. I don't know about all that.
You didn't even put faith in my life.
No, because I know how you take care of your beard now.
Okay, but you notice I take care of others better than I take care of myself.
That is a whole issue.
That is a
like a whole issue right there.
But see, I care for others. I put others before me.
So you don't care about yourself?
I care about myself, but I care about you and Solomon more than me.
No. But okay, I'm not about to. So anyway, that's that. Check out our shirts, y'all. So these were made by Sheldon Johnson at Broke Collection. His info will be in the description if you want to purchase the shirt. So I want to say that I actually really like this shirt because it's like the graphic design is like embedded in the shirt. I've never seen a shirt like that. like not from a small business. So the graphic design is embedded in the shirt, and I love it. It's comfortable. I believe it's already pre-shrunk.
Yes, it's pre-shrunk. So Sheldon, y'all did a great job over at Broke Collection.
Yeah.
Thank you for these shirts.
Thank you.
And we want to tell everybody, go check them out. Great. They have great apparel there and other shirts as well. Art is life. We love alive. I said life.
Yeah.
Art is life though. But art is alive. So yes, definitely go check those out. We'll have it in the description, like Tia said, for you guys to go click on his link and everything like that. Yeah. Also, Tia, go ahead and give them ways. Continue to listen to us.
We're on Facebook, The Heart Talk Podcast. We are on Instagram, at The Heart Talk Podcast. We are on Twitter, at The Heart Talkers. We are on YouTube at The Heart Talk Podcast. If you type in The Heart Talk Podcast, we will pop up. You'll see our logo, but it's on there as The Heart Talk, which is weird. I don't know why it does that, but whatever, YouTube. You can also listen to us on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
You said Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's only 4? Am I thinking it's 5?
I think it is 5. Deezer? You said Deezer?
Deezer. There we go. I'm over here. Okay. So, yeah, all of those. And it's just type in the Heart Talk Podcast, and we are on those as well. Yeah. And we will make sure that this goes out on time. So we don't got these issues like how we had before.
We should be good now. So, again, if you want to send us apparel, or, if you have apparel for us to wear in our up and coming episodes, hit us up in our email, which is thehearttalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can message us on any one of our platforms out there, and you can, send us the links for us to either purchase it or send a gift. We will.
If you want to invest in us, basically. Yeah.
What I'm saying, if you want us to send, if you want to send us the apparel,
okay,
or if you want us to purchase,
still investing in us,
I guess. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So to end, we see you,
we hear you,
and we thank you.
And until next time on the Heart Talk Podcast.